Good morning to everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the November Thanksgiving Month Memorial Island Advisory Committee meeting. And it's a great day, and it's a beautiful weather out there. And I would just like to say I hope everybody's weekend was good, and time change and elections, etc. So we'll begin with a Pledge of Allegiance. And John, can you read that, please?
Yep. Please join me in the pledge. Face the flag and salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. The minutes from October were sent out via email, so we had the opportunity to review that. Last meeting we had Ms. Stein from Day Trip and discuss their plans that should be going, I guess, today out to the island. And then, is it next? No, the 10th.
The 10th month.
I'm a week
It's
ahead.
the day before.
Yeah, day before. But are there any recommendations for amendments to the October 1st minutes? And hearing none, Rita, you can file those for review later.
Make a motion they be approved.
Do we need to do that?
Yeah,
let's do that. Okay. So
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First, it was recommended and seconded by Barb. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, there we go. Thanks. Okay, audience participation, it's few and far between, but the audience on TV, I appreciate you being there. New business, we have none at this time, and old business, moving quickly. Mr. Dexter.
Good morning, Don Dexter, Public Works Department. The World War II monument plaque has been returned to us, all restored, and I provided a picture to be passed amongst the members there. The new monument has been constructed, has its first coat of paint on it. It'll get a second coat of paint today, and then the plaque will be installed either tomorrow or Friday. It'll be ready to go.
Is it, when you go around the walkway to the north, is it just to the left of the tree that was there, or
it's right in front of the tree that was there,
Okay.
Since the tree was planted as a memorial of the World War II anniversary. So
Okay.
what we did was we raised the new monument up, so it's, instead of being only about 16 inches high, now it's about 32 inches high. And they're also going to do a little more, add a few bushes on the sidewalk. We actually did a sidewalk return going back to the monument, so you're not having to walk on grass or mulch. So everything is ready. There'll be a few plants installed. The shrubs that are around the back of the monument now are an ilex shilling, and there'll be new ones planted. Of course, they won't be as tall, but it won't take too long for them to catch up. So,
Good. Okay. All right. And what did we end up paying to have it renovated? Do you recall? Was it $800 or something? No, maybe not.
we budgeted $700
Right.
to make sure we could cover all the costs. I don't have the cost on the concrete materials, but the plaque restoration was about $150 or $75 with the shipping. So we'll be well within budget when we get done.
Okay. Well, that's great. I think that having that done prior to Veterans Day will give us an opportunity to highlight that with everybody coming onto the island. Good. Thanks.
Any other questions?
This was done by the same foundry that did the other, restored the other one.
The restoration was done by the same foundry, yes.
Okay. Would I make a suggestion that we send the foundry a letter of appreciation for the work that they did? On those, they did a good job on the other ones. I haven't seen this one, but the other ones were just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, Erie Landmark is the name of the company. I can get that information to Rita.
Oh, that'd be good.
I think, Mr. President.
And I think they didn't they give us a discount of?
They do give us all veterans organizations a 10% discount. So.
Wonderful. Good deal. So I think that'll be something.
Appropriate.
Yeah, that they'd be receptive to, and we'll keep a good working relationship with them.
Sure.
So, all right, thanks. Okay, the Veterans Ceremony, there we go. Rob, comments?
Rob Slezak, Recreation Director. Met with you guys. We're all set.
We're all set.
We're okay. Standard operating procedures. We're ready for you guys. We're looking forward to a great event and a great crowd. I think we're going to have a really nice crowd, and hopefully the weather will be wonderful too.
Okay.
It's a Tuesday. I mean, as far as programs, would you think 1,000 is enough, or
I think that's good. I think that's a good indicator.
since it's not a
What people have been doing, and they've been really good about it lately, is they're sharing them.
very yes, sir. Okay.
So I think you're going to wind up with far more than 1,000 people, but I think people have been sharing them.
And I do believe we have persuaded both a representative from your establishment and Don's establishment to be recognized for their work in support of the island.
Yeah.
That's
That-
good. That's good.
Yeah,
And, okay, I appreciate it.
they're fine with that, I guess.
All right, thanks.
Uh-huh.
Curtis, anything in regards to?
Oh, no,
Veterans?
we're in great shape. Being this is televised, make sure you get there early for seating, and also, if you can bring your own chairs, it would be appreciated. We're going to have a really good show there this year, as we always do. We got Dolores Chambers is going to be singing for us, and this year we got the Vero Beach High School cheerleaders are coming. I finally coached Mrs. Coons into letting them come out here and stay on the island, so my daughter has to come now. I have everything else is falling into place.
Okay.
What are the cheerleaders scheduled to do? Are they?
I have. I told her, Miss Coons, that I wanted a couple of them over by the where the World War II veterans and the Korean veterans sit. They have a couple of them there, help them out, get seated in their chairs, and then have some at the foot of the bridge and some at the rear of the bridge to say hi and just meet and greet and help the Boy Scouts either pass out water or some of the programs. And all the programs, I passed them out to you guys. Thanks, John, Michael, and Carla for that.
Okay. And just kind of looking at the ceremony for the last Memorial Day was a little bit different. It was out of the normal rotation or normal flow for the ceremonies. This one will have the presentation of the colors, national anthem, Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll have the speaker is Command Sergeant Major Ed Britt. He's the Special Forces non-commissioned officer that was a part of the raid that went into Vietnam to liberate the POWs in '69, I believe. The Sante raid, and then we will also have the usual placing of the wreath in the Cenotaph Square, and we have both a Marine and an Army soldier that I believe that'll be assisting with that. Is it just the Army?
Just the Marine, right?
No, actually, I contacted Sergeant Nadeau.
Okay.
He's also coming, and
Okay,
Sergeant
great.
Locklear. So that'll be, I think and I talked to both of them about kind of basically assist each other, and they both kind of carry it and move through. So it'll be nice to have a Marine in. I guess the more the better.
Good. All right. I didn't know that, but thanks, John, Michael.
Okay. And the ship's bell, of course, will be there for the Navy, and then the vocalist, which is Dolores Chambers, and taps, and then the final honor guards will pass in front of the reviewing stand for the pass and review and exit, and we'll have a number of honor guards. One other nice aspect of this Veterans Day is we'll have the youth. We'll have the cheerleaders, as mentioned. We'll have the Vero Beach High School band. We've got one or two troops of Boy Scouts that'll be helping with passing
ROTC also.
out water. In addition, the Masters Academy, I believe,
Drum and fife, right?
will provide that. So from an and the junior ROTC, Air Force Junior ROTC. So from an educational perspective for our youth, I think that will be very helpful. And then from a recognition point of view, we're extending the hand to those that helped, and for everybody that has come to the island, every last ceremony is dependent upon a whole bunch of people, and it's from the golf carts to the water, to the police department, to the sheriff's department, right on down the line. And so I think this will be an opportunity for a joyful, happy ceremony. And then we also will have Carolyn Dean, who's the wife of John Dean, who helped with the plan for the island. So if you can be there, 9, the ceremony begins promptly. We'll be done in an hour. The weather should be supportive, not as hot as in the summertime. And I think it'll be good.
And aren't we doing some, different people will be on the stage?
Right. Yep. Those are the people that have helped with the island, and
and to get our word out, different radio stations, and we have some other people like Mike's Towing that helps bring a lot of different things, and volunteers,
we
like
need
people
to
that are in
be
the background. Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could probably do this during our dry run, but I was thinking sometimes, since I'm the parade adjutant, sometimes getting them in order to march off and then getting that list to you at the stage. What do you think about just now our member organizations? We may only have 6 or 8 of those actually in the color guard, but if we just put them in kind of alphabetical order, and then that way I could just, if they're not there, I'll just draw a line through it. If they're there, then we list them rather than. Of course, now if there's the police and fire, because they may need to exit for an emergency, so they would be first, and then I guess traditionally would be active duty, and then veterans organizations, and then scouts and cats and dogs, and whatever down the line. But in the past, I think there was this kind of rivalry. Well, we're an older organization than that, so we should be first. But what do you think about just letting them parade off in alphabetical order for this time?
I'm going to let that do your once you figure out how you want to approach that, and then get the alley cats to align appropriately.
Okay.
I think that'll be executable.
I think that's appropriate if you do it in alphabetical order. I don't see why somebody would say, well, our organization is older than yours, we should go first.
Everybody matters.
But in good humor, it's always that the Marines typically like to be up front. So,
And isn't that the case?
That's good
why
reason.
we have
Okay, now, boys, let's move on.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Chairman's matters. I think we're done with that. I just wanted to provide everybody, and it's at your place, just some notes on the veterans each week that the Veterans Council was able to highlight. And in October, there were 4 individuals, and they were William and McCulley, Richard Aquintharp, John Stroud, and George Button. And these are all men that have cenotaphs on the island. Tharp is furthest to the east, and he was awarded the Silver Star. He was a tanker, and when I looked at the research for him, he was a part of a armor division that was called the Liberators, and his organization were there as a number of POW camps were liberated, and one of them was a stockade for airmen that was in the far eastern portion of Germany. So I'm sure that was one heck of an experience. William McCulley was a local fellow that went to Vero Beach High School, well respected. He is, like Alex McWilliam, one of the veterans that was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross. And that is second only to the Medal of Honor. I mean, so if you think about all of the recognitions that are given to veterans in his entire 2nd Armored Division, which is Hell on Wheels, which is George Patton, for the Second World War, there were 23 handed out, and he received one of them. And if you go see the movie that's real popular now, Fury, it talks about tank operations. Well, he was recognized and gave his life in that form of battle. John David Stroud was another individual. He was an airman. He was a pilot for one of the transport planes that took in the 82nd Airborne equivalent for the day. It was the 517th. And real quickly, one of the men that was dropped in that operation, and this was the largest airborne operation in history. And when you think about being on the ground and looking up at the sky and see an air armada go overhead, they said you could stand there and watch for 2 hours as planes went across. The fleet of planes had about 2,000. They had gliders, paratroopers on board. They had another 1,000 or so fighters protecting them from the Luftwaffe. But I could go on and on. The three that I mentioned to begin with were in Europe. The last man that was highlighted was George Button. And unlike his brethren in arms that went to Germany, he had the god-awful task of fighting in the Pacific. Many folks recognize the Marines in the Pacific, but he was a part of the 81st Division. And their symbol, you would think it'd be Halloween. It's a black cat. It's like the black cat on the bottle of wine. And you kind of chuckle, but when you listen to the account, the battle for Peleliu was by the Marines supposed to take 4 days. And this was the Marine division that Chester Puller would later command. After about 4 weeks, the Marines were pulled out because of devastated casualties, and they put in the 81st Division. And he fought for another 4 weeks to take the island, and about 2 weeks before the end of the island was captured. He was killed. But those are the character of men that we're going to continue to highlight and recognize, and I just think it's appropriate that we take the time to look at that. So that's what I have. Blair will be next month, and Members Matters. Barbara.
Good.
Okay, John?
Anything to add?
Just your
Matt?
breakdown of the map, the folks that have the Senatest there, I think that's wonderful. I think more people should see that, so people can glance down real quick and say, hey, this person's Cenotaph is here. They don't have to walk the island to do that. I like that. You guys did a good job with that. And it's nice to hear about the guys each month over there.
Ma'am?
Sir, it's amazing. The stories are amazing. And you can see that you have two of them here who are, as we well know, were in World War II, and they both were buried in the same cemeteries in the Netherlands.
I laughed when I looked at Stroud, because as I was working on John David Stroud, I recalled that his brother was at the Military Officers Association luncheon last year, and I encountered him, and that made me think of my dad's football photograph from Vero Beach High School, and his pictures in the photograph with my father.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised. Very good, very good.
Yeah, I do. Excuse me, on Sunday, the Desert Veterans are getting together, OEF and OIF, and for those who don't know, it's Operation Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom. It's the Veterans Outreach from Indian River County. We're finally getting some of these young guys and ladies to come and get together and help out with different things with the Veterans Council. So they're going to be meeting up at Brugger's on Sunday at 2 o'clock, so if anybody wants to go up to them and say hi to them, you're welcome.
Please get the word to any young man or woman that is a veteran. I believe that there at least will be the opportunity to have a beverage and a bite to eat.
That's correct.
Ken?
Thank you very much for all that you do. You guys are great. We do a lot in this county for veterans. I visited with my son that resides in Sarasota area, and they have vet programs, and they know about our island, and they consider it one of the best islands in the country. I gave them a little bit of history of what this board does for that island, and they said you do a great job. So thank you all for what you do for the vets and the island.
Actually, I did have something I forgot to mention, that that the county presented a proclamation, and you were out of town, so I was there to accept it on your behalf. And the county, of course, has helped the Veterans Transportation Fund so much, and recognized the over 18,000 veterans that live in this community, as well as 20 veterans organizations. And nice of them to recognize our veterans. And I got the proclamation. I'll bring it to the Veterans Council meeting.
Okay.
I think Curtis was here for...
Yes, I forgot. I'm sorry, also. Yeah, I was here yesterday, and the city did the same thing. We have a proclamation from the city, which Mrs. Turner read the proclamation. Very nice, and I also thank the city for all that they do, including Rob and Don and the whole, letting them know how hard it is to put this Veterans Day together, and all the hard work that's put into it. So that we really appreciate it.
Yeah. Again, it's a pleasure to have the opportunity to work with the city of Vero Beach, the staff, and everybody here. It's a team fight, and it's really does your heart well. And I hope that everybody has the opportunity to come on Veterans Day at 9 o'clock to Memorial Island. If you cannot, Indian River County has a number of events that are going on. At 11:30 at the First Baptist Church, there's going to be a recognition for Charlie Cox with the Exchange Club. Then at 5 o'clock, I believe, at the Elks Club, there's going to be another ceremony and recognition. And then for the folks in the northern part of the county, if you can't come to Memorial Island, Riverside Park will have a ceremony at 11 o'clock.
Riverview.
Riverview. Excuse me.
Sebastian.
In Sebastian. And then, just if you do have family that are military, Panera's given a free lunch, so you can go over there and get a bite to eat. And then if you're even more fired up, if you've got a military ID card or retiree, you can go to Publix and get 10% off. So the nation is saying thanks, and I say thanks, and we all appreciate the debt. Yes, Ken.
Mr. Chair, is it going to be televised on our channel, the city channel?
I don't know. Curtis, what's...
Yeah, as far as Mark Ossenfort, he has not gotten back with me yet. He's on my list.
Okay.
This afternoon. So
Okay.
I will get a hold of Mark, and he's the one that usually streams it for us. He assured me a few weeks ago he was going to do it, but I haven't got a hold of him since.
So, what any designated photographer, Ken? I mean,
Not that I'm aware of. I do know that our city, or our folks that do the taping, they can go out into the field and tape and bring it back and put it on our channel here for the shut-ins to see.
we'll have to see if that's available. I mean, it's a little bit last notice, but we can ask, I guess. Okay, we can do that.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
And then, and anybody who is a photographer, Shutterbug, I guess is the nickname, you're more than welcome to take photographs. I know the Press Journal, I spoke with a lady yesterday, she'll be there.
Janet Begley.
Janet Begley. Yes.
Hometown News photographer's almost always there also. I see him every year.
Keith Carson.
Okay. Anything else from the members? Okay, hearing none, this is concluded. Thank you.